Yet another week in the books. Week 4 is done. Week 5, we're here. Bye weeks are here. We're going to help you guys through the bye weeks, navigate these waivers, and yeah, should be a fun time. Let's get it. Finding Value Fantasy, Treasure Tuesdays. Let's go. As always, I'm here with TVP. We're here fresh off a Chiefs win. A little scary there. A little scary there on the Chiefs win there.
Yeah, Zach Wilson played the best game of his career, and Mahomes played one of his worst, and we still won.
Almost pooped my pants watching that game. That was wild.
Oh yeah,
Definitely some promise shown with the Jets. If you're like a Jets holder, like myself.
yeah, Garrett Wilson owner.
Yeah, I have Garrett Wilson and Brees. So definitely, it was nice to see signs of life. Not sure if that'll continue, but I really hope that Zach Wilson can at least do something remotely the way he did last game, because that's what they need. They get the run game going. I think Brees could be okay, but it still doesn't look good. But at least they have the Broncos to play this week, so that's always fun.
Oh yeah.
So tell me about your week of fantasy. I kind of want to hear like what your thoughts were about your this week and your teams and stuff like that.
So let me pull up. I'll just go through. You want me to go through some of the games?
No, yeah, like the game / like how your team did,
okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having trouble loading.
No worries.
I lost this week in both of my leagues. Tragic.
Pain.
But had sad. My receivers on my team were Mike Williams, Deontay Johnson, both injured, sadly. So I had to roll out Devontae Parker. Not ideal there, but it is what it is. Luke Musgrave got me 0.6 points on one catch for 1 yard, which was cool. Unfortunate concussion there, and then the rest of the team had just average games, so it wasn't enough to get me a win.
Yeah. Yeah, you actually were looking like you had a chance there for a bit, so I was hoping you'd pull out the win. After Thursday didn't start well for you, but you almost pulled it out still. Hopefully Jahmyr Gibbs gets a little more work down the stretch. I'm just surprised of all things that, I even left David Montgomery on my bench. I'm just surprised that he got 32 touches coming off, or like 32 carries or something like that off of a thigh bruise. I just thought Gibbs might get a little more work, but I guess not. But I don't think it changed. I don't think the thesis changes at all. It's just like happening slower than you would hope as a Gibbs manager. So if you're a Gibbs manager, obviously it's not fun, but if I don't think you should worry too much, just because his role is going to continue to stay the same, and like kind of, I don't know if his volume is going to be what you want, but the explosive play potential is like exactly what you want, and the Lions offense looks great. So that's kind of what you're hanging your hat on. I don't know if he's going to get any goal line work or anything like that. So it's just kind of hoping he can bust off a long run or a long touchdown. And I think that's like, and the receiving game work should help a ton. But yeah, I don't see a reason why they're giving Monty dump offs, which they did last game, which I thought was kind of strange. But as long as they're not doing that, I wouldn't feel too worried about Gibbs. He did drop a pass, unfortunately, at the end of the game, which was, I don't even know why they threw it in the first place. Yeah. They should have just ran the ball anyways, but it's interesting. But I was able to get a win in my game. I put up like my team put up like 80 points, so I got kind of lucky. But that's the way it is sometimes. Fantasy. Sometimes you put up a bunch of points and lose. Sometimes you put up no points and win. So
that's right.
I'm definitely gonna count my blessings there. I'm happy about that for sure. Did have a David Montgomery performance on the bench. Didn't matter, thankfully. Feel really, really strong about Anthony Richardson going forward.
Oh yeah.
He's looking like an absolute smash. I got him in the last round of my draft, pretty much the last round. It feels good to have him just because his rushing upside's there. He pretty much is the goal line back. And then obviously, like he's serviceable in the air. Like he'll do a little bit, but obviously you're really playing Erich because his the legs. So definitely happy to have Erich on my squad. Happy to throw Daniel Jones to the trash, and I'm not looking back on that one. But
Good call there. I do have a question for you. So I had Herbert on my bench, and you have Roche on your bench. After the past week, who do you think you'd rather have?
we're talking about Khalil Herbert on the Bears, by the way.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I think it's clear. Like I think they like both play different roles. Where I think is like if the Bears are leading, which is rare for them, but it happened last game. I think Herbert's going to be the guy you want. But I think Roshan might be the guy you want in like a game script where they might be coming from behind more. Because they were just firing. I mean, Khalil Herbert looked really good. But then again, they did say they're going to ride a hot hand as like the running back. So if Herbert starts fast, they might just let him, keep running, right? And if Roshan starts fast, they might just let him keep going. So I think I would prefer Herbert because I think he's the more clear one. But I don't like have a huge conviction on like who I'd rather have right now. Like if you're gonna give me a choice, I'd take Herbert, of course, but I don't think it changes much because I think Roshan's still pretty good. I think Herbert's pretty good. I think just depending on who plays well / game script, I think that's like who's going to be more valuable on a week basis. So
yeah, I wouldn't overreact this week. I think if Herbert, I believe he had 75% of the snaps or something around there, and Roshan had about 24, which has not been the trend this season. It's been closer to 50-50. But if Herbert outsnaps Roshan again next week, then I'd be worried about the Roshan side.
Yeah, it looks like he had 80% of the snaps, so he got a very like a lion's share of the work there. So definitely a good point there. But yeah, if it keeps trending this way, then you might just want to drop him because I don't know if it's really worth keeping a guy like this. But it is clear. I guess I just don't know like how valuable a handcuff is in this lineup comparison or in this like team compared to like another team like the Titans. That like a handcuff in that backfield feels a little more valuable than in this one. So kind of like I'd prefer having Tajay than Roshan if it continues to trend this way. But at this point, like the jury's still out, and Roshan could pass Herbert. He could split the share with him. Obviously, if one of them goes down, the other one should be in very good shape because like Foreman's kind of an afterthought at this point. They don't even play him.
No, yeah,
so
he's done.
Yeah, and another thing that I noticed that's pretty interesting is I really like the consolidation of targets. Obviously, we know I was about to say Daniel Jones, kind of fitting, but Justin Fields, we know he's not amazing, but the consolidation of targets like off of Claypool because Claypool was like banished to the shadow realm, I think. So at this point, it's kind of like Mooney looks pretty good, DJ Moore, and then the third guy is kind of like whoever's there.
I mean, it's like Komet, really.
Yeah, Komet. If the third option, definitely Komet. I think I like Mooney a lot more now. I don't know if he's like worth rostering, but I think he's worth like if you're in a deep league, I would definitely pick him up.
Yeah, I think he'll have his weeks.
Yeah, and it looks like the wide receiver 3 is going to be Equanimous St. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown's brother. At this point, 53% of the routes. Tyler Scott is also a speedster. He's a rookie. Plays a lot of special teams, as far as I know. Yeah, he did get a couple carries.
I believe.
Yeah, so they may be trying to get him involved. Probably more explosive than St. Brown, but in terms of like receptions, maybe Equanimous is there, but it doesn't really matter for this. But just something to keep an eye on. I think Mooney is really interesting personally. I think Mooney's a good player, so I do like him a lot. And Komet, definitely an uptick for Komet. I think he's worth a pickup if he's not rostered.
Agreed. I do have one more question about your roster.
Yeah.
So your tight end position. Are you cutting
It's
bait
in
this
shambles.
week with Kyle Pitts?
Huh. This is the kind of things I don't want to answer.
It seems like he's hurt. It seems like he's
Yeah,
hurt.
it's not great. Johnny Smith passed him this week. Cleared him big time. He played a ton, got a ton of targets. I'm probably still keeping him because I'm a sick person, but I would suggest most people should probably drop him. But right now, I feel like honestly, this week there's not a ton of waiver options that are that interesting. And don't get me wrong, this is a tight end I'm going to pick up this week, and I'm probably going to start him over Pitts, hopefully.
And it's Jake Ferguson.
But his name may be Jake Ferguson. But yeah, there's people. You're correct. There's people like this. There's some tight ends on waivers that look all right. Logan Thomas, Zach Ertz. I was on a lot of waiver wires. Don't hate either of them, honestly. But at this point, I'm just holding on to hope, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. But I'm just gonna hold on to hope for a little longer. I'm probably gonna give him like 1 or 2 more weeks, and if nothing changes, then I don't know. I don't know. Like I think it's a Pitts problem, but it is definitely a Ritter problem too. But you can't only tell yourself that so many times before you just have to move on. So,
yeah, I mean, I see a path to relevance, because he's like limping on his routes a lot of the time. I've noticed.
Yeah, that is kind of scary.
And
I would assume he'd be healthy by now, but he's not.
if he can get healthy, and Tyler Heineke is the starting quarterback for this team, I think there
That
is
changes the
fantasy
story a
relevance
little bit.
there.
Yeah,
But
I think
that's going to take a couple more Falcons losses and some poor play from Ritter, so it may not be for a few more weeks. But I'm almost, I don't know, maybe Heineke doesn't touch the field this season, but I would not be surprised.
I think there's a good chance that they do make a move somehow and change something. It would just be it'd be Heineke going in, but I think something will probably change if this play continues.
Yeah,
I think that's for sure. It's just obviously we all know Arthur Smith likes to run the ball. It's just you got to use your weapons at some point, and they're not able to be used in the way they deserve. Not even Bijan is probably being implemented optimally. Like, he's in a great offense for him to succeed, but like he could be used even better.
He could be McCaffrey, dude.
Exactly. I mean, he basically. I mean, Algier is almost an afterthought at this point. So they are really giving all the work to Bijan, which rightfully so. He's electric. Every time he gets the ball, he's amazing. But I don't know. It's just Drake London. You can't start. Obviously, he's definitely worth rostering, and Kyle Pitts is definitely worth cutting bait on if you don't think you like. If I really needed the roster spot open, then I would just get rid of Kyle Pitts and get a new tight end.
Like if you
I feel like I can hold him for a little longer, and maybe that's a waste of time. Probably is, but I think like if you look at the upside scenarios, there's still not many cases where like there's more upside than what he has.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to make the case when you don't see it much.
Yeah, it's tough though because I feel like the passing volume would go up if Heineke becomes the quarterback.
I would think so, yeah.
But I don't know. One more thing about our league. I can also record a bit longer. Than 6:30. So
cool.
I've been offered a trade. Okay. And this trade is Michael Pittman Jr., Jalen Waddle, and Sam Laporta for Devontae Adams and Luke Musgrave. Now, it's very tempting to me. But I just don't want to give up Adams, dude. I also do have a lot of faith in Musgrave's production later in the season. I know it's tough that he gave me less than 1 point this week because of an injury, but the tight ends were productive after his injury, and I have a feeling he'll just slide right back in there because of his athleticism. But
I love Musgrave.
I'm going to have to ponder that one.
So you said Pittman, Waddle, and Laporta for
the number one fantasy tight end,
Devontae Adams and
And
Who's the
Luke
other guy?
Musgrave.
Luke Musgrave. So just basically Devontae Adams specifically.
Yeah.
I mean, would you rather have like end of the season? Would you rather have Laporta or Musgrave on your team?
I think it's hard to say no to having Laporta. I think Laporta definitely.
Okay. Yeah, because he seems like a locked and loaded like top 5 guy at this point.
Yeah, I think
especially
Laporta will be
Waller
consistent. I do think because of the type of routes Musgrave runs and the deep ball acumen Jordan Love seems to have, that Musgrave will have blow up weeks, which can win you. Which is why I'm okay with having him as my tight end. Which I think he'll have like 5 targets a week, which I'd be happy with. But if I'm able to also get, a week where he has 2 touchdowns, 2 40-yard touchdowns, if that's obviously a lucky week, but that'll win you a week at a tight end position.
I mean, he's almost had that already. I mean, you can say almost, but he genuinely was open for touchdowns a few times. So
yeah.
It's definitely there. You just got to hope that they can connect on a deep ball. It is like bullish just to see that he has like a downfield like prospect profile where I think when he first like started, I think that was like one of the biggest like benefits of him is like he can get deep and like make big plays.
Yeah.
Which is not, common for most tight ends. So if he's
like
able to connect on those practicing.
Yeah, practicing today.
Okay. Yeah, because did they confirm it was a concussion or anything?
Because
I don't know if
he left the game, so I'm
with head
assuming
injury.
That it probably was. But I don't know.
That would be my concern, I guess, just for this week. But long term, he's still a good play.
Yeah.
But because they do have a week 6 bye, I believe, so they might sit him out, and then he might miss 2 weeks. But if he didn't have a concussion confirmed, he might play this week.
Oh man.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Explosion.
That's beautiful. Anything for Denver.
Rookies generally get more integrated in their offense
after the bye.
Yep. So that's a nice thing too.
Yep, exactly. I like Musgrave a ton. He's one of my highest owned in best ball. Not that matters, but definitely one of my highest owned players. I like him a lot. But yeah, he looks interesting. I think the tight end position is obviously still a wasteland this year, but there's I feel like there's more upside options, and we've already seen that come through with Laporta.
Yeah.
So if Kincaid can get there, if maybe Musgrave will get there in a couple of weeks, I mean, there's definitely things that are some players that are coming up as tight ends. Even Hunter Henry's been good too, which there's usually at least one guy late that's really good. Like last year, Evan Ingram comes to mind as a guy that was really awesome.
I think all three. Who knows? Even with the Raiders rookie who was drafted in the first round, Michael Mayer, he might. He's had a low snap share, but that's what happens generally with the rookie tight ends. It might not be this year, but next year he might be an option.
Yeah, I think I said this before, but I think the whole rookie tight ends can't produce is clearly obviously been debunked, but it just depends on situation. Michael Mayer's situation, there's Austin Hooper in front of him, solidified ahead of him. But other situations like Musgrave, he was all preseason, he was the guy getting all the work. Yeah. He was getting all the hype from camp. This is the only guy that matters. We have other guys, but we like Musgrave. So when that kind of stuff happens, we have to listen to that. And I mean, you could have scored. I mean, if you listen to those, that signal, you're like, oh, I have rookie tight end, I'm not going to take Laporta. But if you listen to that, then you could have hit on Laporta a top 5 tight end, and he could be making your team much stronger now. I actually have Laporta on one team. Luckily, it's on a team that I have Kyle Pitts on, but I didn't grab him in every league. But it's definitely nice to have him because it just feels like you're stealing at that point. It's oh man, I'm getting a 5th, 4th round tight end at the end of my draft. So
right,
it feels pretty nice to get that. So obviously better days ahead for Kittle, Waller, maybe Waller. Definitely Kittle will have his spike week days, and then obviously the top 2, Kelsey and Andrews, look really good. Obviously, Andrews looks healthy now. Kelsey is getting a lot of work, and he's got the Swift buff, so feels good.
Swift buff is huge.
Yeah, so definitely
he didn't do great this week. Which
no, no one did great on the Jets on the Chiefs against the Jets. Sorry, but yeah, that's such interesting stuff. So I'm good to hop in the waivers unless you got something else going.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's start a quarterback. I'm just gonna look at our league and kind of like base it off of that. We have an NFL fantasy league currently.
It's a pretty competitive league.
Yeah, very much so. So I'll just pull up what we have on waivers right now, and I think that'll be kind of interesting to look at, just because I did another league I was in had Justin Fields go on waivers. I went ahead and grabbed him immediately. That was awesome. But
easy snag there.
I sniped him up quick. But yeah, I'll just pull up this. This looks like we can pull this up. So right now, Baker's obviously on bye, week 5 bye. So obviously we have to talk through that a little bit. So Chargers are on bye, Cleveland Browns are on bye, Seahawks are on bye, and Buccaneers. So a lot of good players, honestly, on bye this week. So we're gonna need some help at quarterback. So I'll just go with my favorite guy of this list, and then you can go with yours if you want after that.
Okay.
I like Matthew Stafford the most. Playing against the Eagles and a 50-point total, I think maybe Cooper Kupp's back. Even if he's not, it doesn't really matter. He seems clear to be he's playing really well. He's throwing a lot of yards, just not getting the touchdowns. So I think it's a good spot for him to get a few touchdowns, continue to throw for a lot of yards. Eagles are giving up a ton through the air. Their secondary is kind of decimated. So I think this is a good spot for him to throw a couple touchdowns. Obviously, Kyron's there to vulture maybe a couple, who knows. But I think this is a good week where Eagles have a good rush defense, a lot better than their pass defense right now. So it's a good spot for them to and especially if Kupp's back too. But either way, it seems like a good spot for him to, throw some passes to the end zone and get you a nice week. Regardless, he might have a floor with 250, 300 yards, but he should be able to get at least 1-2 touchdowns this week. So I like him as my favorite pickup personally.
I like it. Mine, I'm gonna have to go with Sam Howell. He's had pretty decent production this season, except obviously against Buffalo. That was, I think Washington just got completely out schemed. He got sacked 9 times. Not what you're looking for. But the Chicago Bears have 2 sacks on the whole season. And Perfect. That's who he's playing this week. They're number 31 out of 32 against the quarterback position. Last week against a strong Philadelphia front line, he got sacked 5 times, but he still had a productive 19 fantasy points, 290 passing yards, and a passing touchdown. He also had 40 rushing yards. He has 1 rushing touchdown on the season, but I think that is headed for some positive regression, especially against a Bears team. He'll have time in the pocket to scramble and make some runs potentially. As McLaurin gets healthier from his toe, he'll be a better weapon also. Dotson made some nice plays toward the end of the game. I think Sam Howell will be a safe stream with potential for 3 touchdowns and maybe even a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I love that. I think Howell's got a good matchup this week on Thursday nights, so make sure you pick him up quick if you're gonna go try to get him. Definitely, these guys, I don't think you spend a lot of fab on a quarterback personally.
No.
So if you're gonna if you're spending fab, I wouldn't spend more than a couple.
The only player, if CJ Stroud is available in your league, or if somebody dropped Justin Fields before his good game this week, I would spend fab on those guys. But anybody else besides, if Burrow got dropped, if he gets dropped tomorrow, I would spend a little bit of fab on Burrow potentially, because he's not going to keep this low production. He will improve.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out. There's a lot of people that will overreact to performances or lack of performances. So, like I said, in one of my leagues, someone dropped Justin Fields. I don't think that'll happen in most leagues, but if something like that does occur, just keep an eye on it. It doesn't have to occur, but if it does, just keep your eyes peeled for it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth keeping an eye on your waiver wire and what other people are doing, because it's always what your own decisions are important, but like what other people are doing is like almost just as important to see like what's happening, kind of keep in tune of what's going on with your league. You can see like, oh, this guy needs a quarterback, or this guy is struggling to get a tight end. Like maybe I could figure something out with them. So those kind of things could help you make a deal, help you improve both teams, stuff like that, or maybe just improve your team. So let's head over to running back. Running back's pretty rough this week. It's not great, but I think just looking at this list, I think in deeper leagues, you could look at Ronnie Rivers as just like an insurance back to Kyron, because obviously Kyron's getting a ton of work. Ronnie did get some work last week. But I just honestly, this group, I would like Jaleel McLaughlin the most. Seems like P. Ryan's kind of an afterthought in terms of like the backup, and I don't know if like they have a great enough offense for it to be awesome. But I mean, we're just trying to find something like usable. I think you can get that with Jaleel McLaughlin. So he's on the Denver Broncos. Javonte could miss a week, maybe 2. He could be healthy, so it's kind of like up in the air. But if there is any ambiguity with that, he should get a decent amount of work this week, and I think he's worth a pickup. Not someone I'd blow a lot of fab on at all, but I think he's worth a pickup, definitely. But nothing I would spend all my fab on or anything like that. So,
all right, a name that is not on here that I really like is Keaton Mitchell. He could potentially be nothing, but if you have a roster spot, he's a rookie running back for the Ravens. He went undrafted, but they signed him and put him on injured reserve, which is a sign that they like him instead of just cutting bait with him. He is
right.
And John Harbaugh said he could be activated this week. So he's a name that maybe you could stash before he gets a lot of touches, but it seems like Harbaugh's not satisfied with what he's getting from his running backs. They're all splitting carries. It's like a 3-headed monster right now. So he's a name that could potentially it's an upside name, really. It won't get you production this week, maybe, but I wouldn't start him this week if he's active. I definitely agree with McLaughlin. I think he's the guy that would have the most potential to get you 15 fantasy points this week. If you wanted to grab Murray and hope for some goal line carries, that's really the only other guy that I'm seeing on here.
Yeah, I think Mitchell's a good shout. You might be able to throw him on your IR. I don't know if he's eligible to come back this week, but regardless, I think he's a really good play because he did show flashes in the preseason. And it's clear no one's really doing great, as running back for the Ravens, and they're sprinkling in Melvin Gordon, they're throwing everyone in there, so they don't really have a guy that they're happy with. So they could just roll by committee, and that more than likely is what they do. But with a guy like Mitchell, you could be getting someone that just ends up being the number one running back on that team, which is extremely valuable, especially if you're scooping them up off the waiver. You probably don't have to spend any fab on them. You might have to hold them for a little longer than you may like, but it's someone that if you have the roster spot is definitely worth it. Because you could be sitting on literally the running back one for the Ravens if things break right for him.
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell profiles as similar to A-Chain. Not exactly, obviously, A-Chain's beast, but that type of size.
Yeah, and we know that there's value to be had in that backfield. They score a lot of rushing touchdowns with Lamar and Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. They've already had decent weeks on their own right. So, and the J.K. Dobbins was obviously set up to be really great this year too. So there's definitely value to be had in that backfield. It's a little bit different than the Bears where I don't see it as much, but the Ravens they have a great passing offense is getting better, and their rush offense is very strong already. So definitely something to keep an eye on. But yeah, let's head over to wide receivers. There's a few guys I really like on this. This is where I actually like. There's probably like 7 guys I would pick up.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll probably rapid fire through some of them, but I'll go through with like one that I like the most right now, and that would be he's not available in our league. Trent knows that. He's been trying to get him off of my hands, but I like Rashid Rice a ton. I think there's no one's really separating as like a true difference maker in that offense, which I don't think is like a main surprise for anyone for the Chiefs. But Kelsey's obviously there. He's the one, of course. But I think Rashid Rice's snaps have been slowly ticking up. We'll go ahead and take a look at that to like verify for sure. So Rashid Rice had 47% of the routes last week. That's been going upwards. MBS is just there running sprints, running track and field. Justin Watson's running track and field. Tony is I think Tony's role is like going to stay like where it is. I think they just want to use him as like a gadget guy. Maybe he's still getting healthy. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he's a full snap share guy at this point. I think that we've seen the evidence that he isn't. Maybe that's wrong, but it seems like Rashid Rice, they like want to give the ball more. They gave him like 5 targets last game, I believe, 4 or 5 targets. And then sorry about that. And then Sky Moore, obviously, he's been like been running routes, but not really been doing much with them. But when you see Rashid Rice with the ball, his like run after catch is pretty like promising in terms of like what he can actually do. So I do think if there is a guy that's going to come through, I think that's like one of the best guys. So
I 100% agree. I've been trying to get him off Matt's roster. I just sent you something, Matt, on Discord, that if you want to display it.
Yeah.
Look at the PFF grade, yards per route run, and targets per route run for Rashid Rice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's good.
Just imagine if he gets the full snap share, dude. Sky's the limit.
Marvin Mims too, dude.
I'll give you whatever you want, man. Just give me Rashid. Give me my Chiefs receiver I've been praying for the last 5 years.
He's been trying to wheel and deal some stuff with me to get me Rashid Rice. To try to get Rashid Rice off my roster.
Yeah,
not yet.
I didn't want to show you this because it'd make you want to keep him even more. But yeah.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think I'll be holding on to him for now. I mean, if I need a roster spot, he may be dropped at some point, but right now he's mine. But I'm still open to trades. I'm not open to trades. But I think one person to make note of here, I think like what?
You want Jerome Ford straight up, bro?
We'll have to think. We'll have to talk about that off podcast here. To do some trade talk here in the next couple of weeks, because it might be a big time for trades as your trade deadline may be coming up, or even if there's no trade deadline in your league, it's definitely like this is the time of the year where like trades will make or break your team if you're like in a tough spot, or like could solidify yourself for the championship. Obviously, a lot of these guys are rostered, but I've been keeping an eye on Demario Douglas. And yeah, I don't think he's an ad in like a shallow league, like a shallow bench league. But if you have like 10 roster spots, I think he's like not even a horrible start, like a horrible person to put on there, because he's like looked explosive, and Juju is like nowhere to be found. Kendrick Bourne, we know like he has potential to do good things, but he's not like a true target earner that's going to continue to be that way. And then they got rid of Jacoby Myers, which was like clearly a bad decision. And then they don't have much else. They have Devontae Parker. They get some targets, but they seem to be like trying to get him the ball a little bit more. Obviously, like as you can see, his snap share has been moving up steadily, even with Devontae Parker re-entering the lineup. So I think he's something to keep an eye on. Just to keep an eye on for sure. Jalen Hyatt too, same thing. He got more snaps, so in week 4, so definitely worth taking a look at those guys. This whole Giants room is kind of a mess, but I really like Wandale and Hyatt as like a waiver ad. Wandale would be someone I would want more so than Hyatt at this point, but
I agree.
So let's look at the snap share here. Like Wandale run through 63% of the routes. Paris Campbell clearly getting phased out of the offense. Wandale looks a lot better than him anyways. So, Hyatt went 60% of the routes too. So it seems like they are changing their route percentage to the guys that are maybe more explosive. So let's hear your guy on waivers.
So if you want to go back to
the Swiss one,
just like Michael Wilson, his snap percentage is up. It was 83% week 3, 76% week 4. That is fantastic for a rookie, especially this early on. His target per route run numbers are 16%, but they're running a lot of routes. And they've got Marquise, and for some reason Zach Ertz is still getting a lot of targets. I don't know what's going on with that. I really think that this offense could be a funnel between Marquise Brown and Wilson. Wilson's got a great profile, yards per route run, 2.3, which is excellent. Yards per route run and targets per route run are pretty indicative stats of breakout receivers. Going back, you can look at basically almost any breakout rookie, and they have a high target per route run and yards per route run number. They earn those targets. Obviously through the first 4 weeks, rookies need time to improve. So you look at JSN, who's low on there, but he'll get better. He's a great prospect. But Michael Wilson's already got a high PFF grade, 69, nice. He's a guy that I think will bring consistent value. And he had 2 touchdowns this week. He's a red zone guy. He's a bigger than Marquise Brown. He's obviously faster than Zach Ertz. So he's a guy that I like. He could be a consistent option, especially when Kyler comes back. You never know what happens. He could, like Zach Ertz could go bye-bye, and Kyler could just only funnel this offense through Michael Wilson and Rondale a little bit, and obviously Marquise Brown. So I like Michael Wilson a lot.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. Michael Wilson looks really good. I like that pickup a ton. Dude, the Cardinals have been a very pleasant surprise this year. It's been nice to see them actually be good.
I definitely have a waiver priority for Michael Wilson this week. So it's not just me saying that, it's me acting on it too.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we take our advice that we give and we use it for ourselves as well. We're not selfish with it or anything like that.
And obviously there's Jameson Williams. If he's available, I try to snag him. He's not gonna don't start him this week, but you never know. He's got probably some of the highest upside possible.
100%.
Especially based off his draft capital. And then one other name I have, Tyler Boyd. He might not be available in your league's roster. 37% actually. So
that's not bad.
Yeah, other names I'm just gonna throw out there, like Romeo Dobbs apparently is rostered in 54% of the leagues.
Crazy.
That's crazy to me. Snag him immediately. Quentin Johnson in 47%. And Rashee Rice, dude, get that guy.
Absolutely.
You won't regret it.
Yeah, I hope he does. He breaks out. That'd be fantastic for me. For me especially. But let's go ahead and I got a little bit more time. So we'll talk about tight ends real quick, and then I'll do one thing at the end here where TVP will guess a player based on like a little bit of information I give him. So first off, my favorite tight end is Jake Ferguson, as alluded to earlier. He's been getting a ton of targets, 7 targets every week, I believe. Dak said he likes him. Obviously, Schultz was really successful in this offense, and the funny thing is, like, the Cowboys have like barely had to do anything most games.
Right.
They just win, and it's like the game's over. Like this last game, they literally had their backups in like the third quarter.
Yeah.
So, like I imagine like this next game, like they should get pushed. It seems like a good start. Like just this week, Ferguson should be a good start. So, I think it's interesting just to like go back to him and obviously he had a slow start, but I think he's been getting all the work that he needs to be viable. So I like Ferguson a lot. Probably my favorite guy of this group at the top here. I probably rank Ferguson top, then Kmet, then I would go Zach Ertz, then Thomas. personally. And then K-Don is pretty interesting too. So it's 5 guys I like a decent amount. And then Johnny Smith I'd probably put at the end of that list. But
Yep, I agree. And if Luke Musgrave is available in your league, I would put him pretty high up there too. He's definitely better. Like if you've been, I don't know, I'd much rather have Ertz. Musgrave over a player like Ertz, who's he has a safe floor, but I don't think Ertz has
ceiling.
Rarely any ceiling at all.
Yeah, he could fall in the end zone. That's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, if Dalton Kincaid is available in your league, I would hang on to him if you are in tight end wasteland. He has upside for more playing time later in the year. Maybe not right now, but he's still a startable option too.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of routes. He's been out snapping Dawson Knox the last couple of games, so that's a good sign for like his potential. Obviously, he hasn't done anything with it yet, but he's on the Bills' offense. That's always a good sign. And we saw Dawson Knox score a ton of touchdowns a couple of years ago. So
yeah.
But yeah, let me go ahead and let's see here.
It's a bummer Juwan Johnson hasn't really been doing much.
Yeah, that was someone that everyone was pretty high on early in the season, honestly. So I'm surprised he didn't come together at all. So
yeah,
a little disappointed in that, but it seems like that the Saints offense isn't looking as good as people were kind of hoping for at all really. So
yeah.
But okay, so here's the plan to end this off here. So we're gonna end off with this, and then we're gonna call it a day. We'll be back. We are planning on trying to get another show going throughout the week, but right now we will just be doing this one for now, and then we'll try to see if we can get another show going on a Thursday or even a Friday. Just try to find a time that works for both of us. But yeah, let's see. Let me see here. Okay, so this is called Pick 6. Trent TVP has 6 questions. I pick a player. TVP has 6 questions to narrow down who it is, and then I'll give a little brief overview of why I like the player or why that's like a player that I think people should keep an eye on. I alluded to him earlier in this podcast, so it might be a little bit of a giveaway, but there's a lot of players I've talked about this pod. So yeah, you're up. You could do whatever you want. You can guess what division they're in, what start off however you want. You have 6 questions. Good luck.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to narrow it down as much as I can. 6
and make sure if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to sub. If you guys are listening on Spotify, hop over to YouTube, Finding Value Fantasy, subscribe. We hit our 25 subscriber goal. Next goal was 50 subs, so I really appreciate that. I would just appreciate spending the time to go subscribe. Check out the YouTube content as well. Obviously, we have this on podcast form too, so appreciate however you're listening to us.
Smash that like button.
That's right. Smash the like button. Helps that algorithm out too.
All right, let's see. Has this player... Is this a rookie?
No.
Okay.
One question down. Not a rookie.
Has he caught more than 50 passes in a season?
50 passes in a season?
Mm-hmm.
I should give away some information because I don't know for sure. Let's see here. No, he is not.
Okay. I guess that's a running back then.
Could be.
It's pretty...
Could be a quarterback. You haven't narrowed that down yet.
What was my first question again? I forgot.
You said, is he a rookie?
Oh, yeah. Darn.
So 2 questions down, 4 to go.
Okay.
You narrowed down a little bit.
Is he in the NFC?
Yes. There you go. That's helpful. 3 questions left. Then after the 6 questions, you have to guess the player.
Okay. Has he scored? Oh no, that's a bad question. Oh, has this player had over 15 carries in a single game?
No. That's a good question.
So it's a quarterback.
2 more questions.
I think it's a quarterback.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a quarterback.
Maybe not. Is this player in the NFC West?
No. One more question.
Dang,
okay. I'll give you a hint. He's not a quarterback. He's a wide receiver.
He's not a quarterback. He's what?
Wide receiver.
He's a receiver. Okay. What? And he hasn't caught 50 passes, and he's not a rookie.
One more question.
All right. I'm going to have to say, is Jameson Williams?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, you had another guess, though.
I do have one more?
Actually, you have one more question. You had one more question before you guessed.
Oh,
so
shoot.
I'll give you another question and then another guess, and then you're done.
Okay. All right. Is he in the NFC North?
It does. NFC North? No. It does narrow down the options a good amount, though, like knowing like they don't have many catches and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for, but it just didn't really work out for me. Okay,
yep.
So not a rookie.
So he's either
less
in
than
the
50 receptions in a season, but he's
in the East or the South.
Yeah,
East, South or the East.
Man, it could be Terrence Marshall Jr.
He's also young.
He's young,
which I think is probably a given.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I'm thinking second or third year.
Second year player.
Let's see. Oh man, less than 50 receptions this season. Oh, so I'm guessing he's in the NFC East. I'm guessing he's on the Washington Commanders, and I'm guessing his name is Jahan Dotson.
Did Jahan Dotson have less than 50 catches last year?
I think so.
I don't know about that.
He was injured for a while.
Nah, Jahan Dotson's a monster, dude. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's 49 catches, so I guess that's probably right.
Oh, man.
So it's not Jahan Dotson, though.
Oh, okay.
I love Jahan Dotson. Love Jahan Dotson. Don't drop him if you're scared of him. Keep him a little bit longer. I'm scared too. I had Dotson in this fantasy league, but the guy was Wan'Dale Robinson. I think there's better days for the Giants, and I'm not going to say they're a great team because I don't think they are by any stretch of the imagination. And it's been clear they're like going to regress from last year's performance, but I think his snaps are going up. He's shown like he's already like got a little bit of juice, like more juice than like any of the guys on that team. A lot more than Paris Campbell, at least. And he's coming off an ACL injury, and he's like showing like, he earns a lot of targets. Obviously, his depth of target isn't great, but I think it's like definitely well worth the roster spot. Maybe more so in a deeper league, but I'd pick him up in any league. They have a week 13 bye, I believe. So, I have no problem rostering him on my team. I might try to waiver wire him on a couple squads, but I mean, snaps are going up. They're giving snaps to the guys that they want to involve in the offense. And obviously, when Daniel Jones gets sacked, 9 times last game, I believe, 11 times, something like that. He's not going to have much success, but he still had a decent performance last game. So I think he's worth a waiver wire. Even in a shallow league, I think he's worth a waiver wire pickup. But especially in a deeper league, I think I would be picking him up immediately. I have him in a couple of deep leagues, so definitely worth it in my opinion.
I agree, 100%.
Yeah, that is that's pick 6.
Might be trying to pick him up as well.
He's all your fab. Not actually use all your fab on Wan'Dale, but yeah, I think he's a good pickup. Honestly, you probably won't have to bid more than like a couple fab to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, guys. That was fun. That was a good old. We introduced our new segment, Pick Six. Absolutely love that. Should be a lot of fun. We can probably try to integrate that a little more, maybe in the middle of the show. But like we said before, we're trying to work through it. My dog's getting a little feisty apparently, so I think it's time to head out of here. You have anything else for the people here?
Man, I'm so excited for all of you listeners. I really hope we're helping. We love some feedback. If there's more information you guys would want, like on specific players that we're talking about, feel free to send us feedback so we can improve. Dude, I love doing this. It's so fun.
Yeah,
Super passionate about it. And also, I mean, if you want to do, I might have a player if you want to do the 6 questions.
Okay.
If not,
yeah,
that's cool. We can
let's run it. Let's run it.
All right. I'm ready. Ask away.
All right. Is the player in the AFC?
Yes.
Okay. These are all fantasy players, I would assume, right?
Yes.
Fantasy relevant players. Okay. Do they play a position where they generally are they okay? Is it a wide receiver / tight end?
It is a wide receiver / tight end.
Okay. All right. Are they a rookie or a sophomore?
Man. Yes.
I guess I'm not narrowing it down fully though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so not a rookie or sophomore, or a rookie sophomore in the AFC wide receiver tight end. Okay. I need the team. Let's think about this. In the AFC, are they a team associated with an animal?
Yes.
Whoo, baby. All right. Here we go. All right. Gonna have to look this up real quick. Just because I don't know all the teams in the NFL. Just kidding. All right. So that narrows it down to the Ravens, Bengals, Broncos. Broncos not an animal, is it?
Yeah, it's a horse.
Okay, yeah. Bills, Ravens, Bengals, Broncos, Jags, Dolphins. Okay, that actually narrows it down quite a bit. So rookie, sophomore.
The Colts are also a horse.
Dang it. Okay. Colts. Okay. Is this a receiver?
Yes.
Okay. Is that 5 questions or 4?
I haven't been counting.
I asked if they're in the AFC.
Tough, man.
I know we have to change it. I asked if they're in the AFC. I asked if they are wide receiver, tight end. That's 2. I asked if they are associated with the animal. That's 3. Did I have another one? I had 4 at least. Is there another one in between?
And you asked if they were receiver, right? Or wait, no.
Yes, that's 4. That's 4. Yeah. Okay, so 5, 6. Okay. All right. I have a guy that I think it is, but I'm not sure. So they're a rookie wide receiver. No, they could be a sophomore wide receiver, but have they scored more than 10 fantasy points this year?
In PPR.
In half-point PPR.
In half-point? No.
But in full PPR? Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. Freaking crap. Okay. Shoot. This is rough. I don't like this. Oh, baby, this is bad. All right. Are they... this is painful. So less than 10 points total on the whole season.
Oh, on the whole season?
Oh,
no, I thought you meant
in one game.
In one game.
Okay,
In this
across
the whole season,
they've had 10
points.
Okay, that I was gonna say that was like impossible. All right, are they on the Colts?
Yes.
I'm going with Josh Downs.
That is correct.
You helped me with that because you said
Josh
the Colts side.
Downs, the graded higher than Marvin Mims. There's a couple other receivers, but he
looks really good.
Yeah. He is playing at a high snap percentage. Looks like 77% of snaps this past week. Actually, that might be the whole season. Either way, that's high for a rookie. For the fourth game of the season, he got targeted. How many times? I think it was 12 targets week 3. He did only have 3 targets this week, but Anthony Richardson didn't really throw the ball a whole lot. He only had 11 completions. 2 of them were to Josh Downs for 34 yards. Michael Pittman only had one catch, I'm pretty sure, this game. So that was a down game for him. But I think this is a guy that you could really hold on to. Alec Pierce,
doesn't look great.
Yeah, he is not passing the eye test to me. I think Downs he's an explosive receiver. He's 5'9", 170, a smaller guy, but big play guy. He's quick, slot guy. I think he's really mostly just playing the slot. So in PPR, he's a really, really great play. I think safe guy if you want to throw him into your slot. In your flex. And he'll only get more integrated into this offense as the season goes. He's a good player, so he's a guy to look out for.
Yeah, I agree. That is a good little pick six. I'm gonna have to change it a little bit, but pick six is a nice name. I like it though.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it being difficult too is fun.
We'll have to we'll have to think of like some different ways to like ask the questions, and maybe we can figure out a good way to narrow it down. But it is meant to be hard still. So either way. That was fun. Always a good time. Treasure Tuesdays. Appreciate you hanging out with me, TVP.
Thank you for having me, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Good luck this week in fantasy, guys. We'll see you guys hopefully soon. Definitely next Tuesday. But otherwise, we'll be seeing if we can get some stuff fired up. I do have some plans to do some best ball reviews. So maybe TVP can come on and we can talk about our team, stuff like that. So should be some fun. I might try to like get a nice little like segment where I go through like all the teams I drafted with people and like bring them on one by one. That would be fun. But
yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Anyways, anything else for the people?
Thank you guys for listening, watching, whichever. Hopefully we'll have face cam soon too. That'll be a little more eye candy for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, might have to put that on explicit mode or something.
Oh, maybe so. Might be too distracting.
Yeah, might have to be careful on that one. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Like I said, it doesn't matter. The views don't matter. We're just trying to like get better at this and try to improve like our speaking and like the way we're, trying to like my hosting, that kind of stuff. Like we're just trying to get better at this. So we are practicing and getting better. Thinking of new ideas. So we are very passionate about this, something that we would absolutely love to do all the time, 5 days a week, 4 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever we could do. So it's something that we are super passionate about. So we appreciate any support. But, we're going to be here. We're going to keep grinding at it and trying to improve. So definitely appreciate all the love. But I'll see you guys next week for sure. And good luck this week, guys. Get some wins and hopefully you, no injuries, stuff like that. Hopefully it's a great week.
Pray your defense gets 30 points. That's
oh gosh,
sick.
See you later, guys. Peace out.
Peace.